Miss out on our business seminars and workshops. As an organization, you can be part of this exciting event by sponsoring the trade fair. For more information, call 0953 563 812 or 0950 676 183 or email marketing@zitf.org.zm. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grow your business and connect with the world. Mark your calendars for the 59th Zambia International Trade Fair, enhancing business resilience through innovation and trade. See you there.
The Business Snapshot on 88.5 Sun FM.
At how the forex exchange is looking like today, the 17th day in the month of June 2025. Now, one United States dollar is buying at 24 kwacha 25 ngwe, selling at 24 kwacha 55 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 32 kwacha 89 ngwe, selling at 32 kwacha 97 ngwe. The Euro is buying at 28 kwacha 5 ngwe, selling at 28 kwacha 11 ngwe. One South African Rand is buying at 1 kwacha 36 ngwe, selling at 1 kwacha 36 ngwe. It's the dollar for me. Coco, if you were to ask me, and how it has continued to appreciate. I think a month or two ago it was running to 28. At least we've dropped 4 kwachas to this month, and well, some economists said we'll only get to see the depreciation of or the reduction of the prices of goods and services once we hit the 20 kwacha. And you and I on this show made mention to say, well, even better, we would definitely be happy if at all it loses at least 2 more kwachas. Then it was 2 kwacha that was tackled off from the 28 kwacha. It came to 26 kwacha. And then now it's a 24 kwacha. Should we give it a round of applause? Should we? We should, I think. You want it to go up to 20. That's when you're going to give it a round of applause.
20, just let's see.
15?
Some economists are saying that if we continue like this, maybe by December it could even be
15. 15?
No, I'm not saying 15. No, give or take 20.
Give or take 20. Someone would want to see it go to 15. Have we been too
15,
ambitious?
No.
Is
no,
that us being too ambitious?
So let's just say 20 being the last.
The last,
yes.
it could drop to.
Yes.
Give us some business stories. What do we have on our business desk?
All right, as we continue, we see that the Economics Association of Zambia has applauded government for its consistency and transparency in serving the country's external and domestic debt. Now, recently, the Ministry of Finance and National Planning disclosed through a statement that it had released 15.8 billion kwacha to finance public service delivery, of which 5.5 billion kwacha was or went into debt servicing. Now, the ministry revealed that the 15.8 billion kwacha, 2.8 billion kwacha went to domestic debt, 2.6 to external debt, while 80.7 million kwacha went toward dismantling arrears various suppliers for goods and services. And reacting to the statement, the EAZ National Secretary, Dr. Nicholas Mainza, said Zambia was on the right trajectory of lessening its debt burden as the country was coming from a situation where there was poor timing of everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was at a certain point. See?
Yeah. And in some more local stories, now we just talked about how the kwacha is tangling it up with the dollar on the forex exchange, right? I would want to bring it to your attention, Coco, that over the past 6 months, from December 2024 to May 2025, some economists, experts, and key observers of the Zambian economy have suggested that they have observed early indicators of the economic recovery, especially after the credible Stanbic Bank Purchase Manager Index, which measures private sector business confidence, and the activity soared to about 51.4% in May. Now, the highest since December 2021. Now, the price aims to independently examine whether there is credible evidence or to support these claims that the economy is really, really doing very fine. So they're saying it's doing quite well. And also, I saw someone on the international space, though we're not yet on the international space, who was saying Zambia's economy in Africa is the fastest when it comes to growing when you talk about GDP. So they are trying to qualify this by telling us from December 2024 to May 2025, they are saying we are growing. I don't know why they're saying that, but hey, it's the kwacha that is showing everything. Talk to us. What more stories do we have?
All right, the Civil Society Debt Alliance has observed that while Zambia is making progress in dismantling both domestic and external arrears, the debt reduction strategy may undermine its efforts to achieve a stable economic development. Now, in an interview, the Alliance interim coordinator, Robert Mwale, points to the country's current debt profile, noting that total public debt stands at approximately $26 billion, well, of which $13 billion was, earmarked for reconstructuring under the G20 Common Framework, while 91% of the targeted restructuring has been completed, with $12 billion formally restructured and just $1 billion remaining. Mr. Mwale warns that a singular priority on debt servicing and wage bill commitment or the containment risk crowding at investment in productive sectors. He is recommending a thorough review of tax initiatives and the incentives granted to mining companies as a balanced approach to current system, arguing that generous breaks, currently estimated at over 20 million kwacha annually, have outplaced mineral royalty contributions around 11 billion kwacha. He is, in his comment following government spending in May of 15.8 billion kwacha to finance public service delivery, to which 5.3 billion kwacha was channeled into public service wage bill and 5.5 billion on domestic and external debt service at, being the highest respectively.
Awesome. And just yesterday, I was looking at, I don't know if you followed the conflict between Iran and Israel. Yes, with the back-to-back bombardment, and that a number of economists out there, they've actually stated that this is significantly going to impact the global market. Now, global stock market is showing a dangerous compliance in response to the sharp escalating the military conflict between Iran and Israel, warns the CEO of one of the major world's largest independent financial advisory organization. Now, despite the scale and significance of the recent development, investor behavior reflect misplaced claim, with major index rebounding quickly after the brief dips. Now, Nigel Green, CEO of one of the groups, comments that the world is watching a direct confrontation between two major regional powers, and yet markets are trickling it as a background noise. This is serious when it comes to the oil market. You and I, Coco, would want to attest to the fact that we've seen the dollar in Zambia really battling it out with the kwacha for the longest time, we should say. And obviously that has seen how the fuel price has slowly started coming down. We've seen the last 2 months the ERB reducing the pump price, and with this conflict, I can bet on it that we'll see an increase in the next adjustment.
Because remember, they've gone up to over $130 per barrel. So looking at it right now on the market, because we used to buy, was it at $70 per barrel or $30?
78, somewhere there, 78,
yes.
Per barrel. So it's something
now
that
imagine the margin for where it is $130 per barrel.
Just for the fact that they are already estimating this conflict being a major distractor of the global markets. I'm telling you, it's really going to affect a whole lot of people when it comes to the global markets. Any more stories?
Yes, we're seeing how Trump is actually on the way to signing a UK-US tariff deal. A deal removing some trade barriers between the UK and US have been signed off by President Donald Trump. The move will bring into force parts of an agreement that was agreed between the two countries last month and reduce tariffs on UK cars being shipped to the US. It comes after weeks of talks to implement parts of the pact, which the UK government hopes will shield British businesses from the impact of Trump's tariffs. Now, in the deal being or including a 10% levy on both UK goods, including cars, and do not address the expected removal of charges on steel imports. Speaking at the G7 summit in Canada, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, called the move a very important day for both countries. The pact initially agreed last month that it was the first White House that has announced since it imposed the wide-ranging tariffs on various goods entering America earlier this year. Chris Mason, tariffs deals will actually put a triumph to the Starmer up to a certain point. Now, Trump has raised taxes on goods entering the U.S. on a series of rapid-fire announcements in an attempt to encourage businesses and consumers to buy more American-made goods. It sparked financial turmoil and alarm around the world, including the UK, where car manufacturers and steelmakers rely on the US as key destination for exports.
It's just how Trump has gotten a hold of everything, and his.
But when you think
when he
about
speaks,
what
you
Trump
will
is
tremble.
doing, not that I'm trying to.
You're not insinuating.
I'm
you're
not a Trump supporter. I'm not, that type of person.
Are you? Did I just defend you
I'm not a
before
Trump
you even
supporter.
uttered your statement?
I'm not a Trump supporter.
Just that statement itself has qualified
No, as
you.
in, so what I'm
Say
saying
to us,
on
say
this
to us.
point is the fact that he is, I know that the tariffs are too much on so many because, let's
Including
be
Zambia,
honest,
your country.
each and every country outside does depend on, some of these goods from foreign countries. But when you read it on the other side, he is encouraging his own or local businesses to actually trade itself. Isn't that what Africa is
But
trying
again,
to
if
do
you look
as
at it,
well?
that's what Africa is trying to do.
Yes,
but if you look at it,
especially-
if you say we're equally going to impose a 50% tariff
No, not
on
the
you, Trump.
tariffs, the imposition of those tariffs, they are too much for some of these countries. Especially
Zambia
they
in
will
particular.
affect each and every outside country. We're
Yeah.
talking about China. I mean, Africa, really, and China, they are best friends when it comes to the tradings, right?
Yep.
Yes, so we're just seeing how he's encouraging the same... this whole thing for locally made goods, which is what we're trying to impose in our country as well.
Can I quickly say it's 15 minutes past 13? And with that said, I would want to say beautiful good afternoon to Ibrahim Traore and what he's doing for his country. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just said it on radio. Nonetheless, there we go. We'll be coming right back with what's happening on other media platforms with a press review at about 15 past 13. All right, and that's what we could package as far as your business snapshot. Good afternoon.
The Business Snapshot on 88.5 Sun FM.
Time is power.